Alright guys, well I just did the entire intro and I forgot to hit record, so let's try it again. So you'd think after 2-3 years you'd figure this stuff out, but anyway. Alright guys, good morning, day number 3. So this morning it's absolutely gorgeous out, light wind, it's sunny, little fog haze, don't know if it's fire haze or what, but anyhow, so today just having my cup of coffee this morning. Went ahead, got on Navionics on my tablet and changed our route for day 3 from Harrisville, Michigan, and we are gonna go, instead of Detour Village, we're gonna come up and wrap around. I'm gonna show you on the map real quick too. But we're gonna go to Drummond Island this today so that we can meet up with Ken and Paulo. All right guys, so I'm gonna take a quick moment here just to show you guys Navionics and the dock-to-dock navigation that we are using on the trip, and to kind of give you just a quick how we're using this and kind of where we're at. So guys, this is Navionics. If you have never seen it, it's on the Simrad as well. Most of our navigation that we use is done on the laptop, and then I transfer to an SD card and put it on the graph. You can do it on the Simrads. However, I find if you have large routes with multiple legs, it can take the graphs a little bit longer to actually determine the route. Now, so just going ahead, I'm just going to show you guys real quick. You just go into route, automatic, and then this side's going to pop up over here. So you just go ahead, and we started over here where this is Catawba, West Harbor. So let's just go ahead and place a navigation, the starting point here by left clicking the mouse. And day 1 we came, we ended up, sorry guys, I know this is fast. I'm trying not to bore you. Let's go to, this is Pine River, and that's St. Clair Municipal. So let's just put a dot here. So that's our ending point, the little flag here. So over on the left side, guys, you can see it's actually thinking. This is the process that takes a little bit longer on the Simrad. However, you're doing small routes, normal size routes. But being that you're going through the river system here, there's a lot of waypoints that this creates. Now, that being said, guys, if you click over here, I don't want to do that until this is done or finished thinking. So you can kind of see it's a dotted line. It kind of tells you that it's still thinking about the route. There you go, it's done. So let's step back here. Boat settings, guys, really important. Go back in here. You want to try to put your actual boat. I put 6 foot, even though our draft is not 6 foot. It just helps. Gives me a little bit of cushion, because when it's automatically routing you dock to dock, it's going to take this information. So even though we're probably 38-inch draft, I put 6 feet just to be on the safe side, so Navionics isn't bringing me over anything that too shallow. So anyhow, cruising speed, and then your fuel consumption. So so as you can see, it's gone ahead, it's thought this out. We're coming through here, actually puts you in the actual channels here. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. So it has us coming through the channel, through the Detroit River, passing Detroit, opening up into St. Clair, entering into St. Clair River, and then coming all the way up here. So the cool thing is, if we go back here on the left side, really cool for trip planning. It's going to tell me it's about 88 miles. It's about 3-hour trip, and we're going to, at the settings that we put in at 30 miles an hour, at 20 whatever gallons per hour, it's going to go ahead and you consume about 74 gallons. So really cool. Again, what I do is I generally, at the beginning of the trip, I do all the routes as to the planned. However, as you guys know so far in the video, that changes, as we go. So depending on weather, we may or may not hit different marinas, whether or not they have space for us. So a lot of times I'll go into the computer, make a new map. So let's just come back out. Let's go ahead and we'll cancel that route. We'll go into menu. And the really cool thing is with this, guys, I can go in here and create all these different routes, rename them, whatever I want. And the cool thing is this again is Navionics on a PC, but this will also sync with my tablet and my phone, and that will also, if I have the Wi-Fi on in the boat, it'll actually sync to the graph wirelessly as well. So it's really cool. So anyhow, if you go in here, just show you guys, I went ahead before I started recording, I did the route 1. So this is kind of where we're at right now. So wait for it. So you can see that we started here at Catawba. The part that I just showed you went through the St. Clair, came through here, Detroit River, St. Clair, came up here. This was stop number 1, St. Clair. The second leg that we did was from here, came out into Lake Huron, scooted along the west shore. We crossed Saginaw Bay and into Harrisville, Michigan. So this was our second marina that we hit. So, and in this video, we went here. We came up around Sugar Island. We just scooted around here. Came through the Presque Isle area. And then we crossed over Lake Huron and we came into this channel here. Again, like I said in the video, we were originally planning on coming over to Detour Village, Michigan over here, but because Ken and Paula, they are actually over here at Drummond Island Yacht Club. So we came through this channel. This was some of the shots that we got, came around. Now this is where you're getting into your traditional rock islands and rock croppings that you will find throughout the North Channel and through Georgian Bay. So we ended up coming in here, again, following the markers. We came through these 2 markers and into Drummond Island Yacht Club. So one of the things we have come to learn going through Georgian Bay last year and this year is really using Navionics. As long as you're going in and putting in the boat settings. Now, that being said, there are times where Navionics is obviously going to give you the shortest route, and sometimes it might cut corners that you're not necessarily comfortable with. So you have the ability. Well, this time it went ahead and did it. So when I initially did this, I can add another waypoint here just by clicking on it if I'm editing this. And originally it had me going around and through these rock piles, and there's no sense, there's no reason. So I went ahead when I did it originally, and I moved this out to kind of avoid some of this shallower area. So yeah, you can go through check your actual automatic route dock to dock and make some small modifications. However, that being said, as you can see, guys, and when you start zooming in on this stuff, let me go ahead and put it on sonar charts to kind of get a little bit better idea some of the different depth contours. So there's some areas here where you can see there's marks for rocks. So you got to be really careful when you're coming in and out of the North Channel. Typically, I do everything in my power to stay on this. Now, that being said, what we have found in the North Channel, there are not the preferred small craft suggested routes like there are from, I think it starts kind of like Little Current and in southern Georgian Bay or Georgian Bay. Down there they actually have preferred routes marked on the Navionics chart, and most times when you're doing the dock-to-dock navigation, it will actually put you on there automatic. So anyway, guys, just wanted to show you guys real quick how we're using the Navionics. Just a quick overview what the plan is. So we're going to go from Drummond Island. The next stop we are planning, we were actually planning to come up here to Blind River in Ontario, but I think just to stay with Paul and Ken, we are probably going to go over to Gore Bay, which is all the way down here on Manitoulin Island. So Gore Bay will be our next stop, and then from there, depending on weather, we might anchor up into this area here, which are the Benjamins. So we're thinking about, and if you zoom in, you can actually see where they have anchorages marked here on Navionics, which is really cool. So you can actually click on that. Oops, let me get on here. There you go, you hit the question mark, Benjamin Islands. So then it'll give you more information. So anyway, so depending on weather, we might anchor here. Eventually we will get down through this channel over into Little Current, probably do some provisioning. From there, the plan is to come into Fraser Bay, come through this channel right here, past this narrow passage here. I think you got Okeechobee Lodge right here, and then come into Bay Fin. So if you're not familiar, this is one of the I think it might be the largest natural water fjord in the world. So the idea is to go through and wiggle ourselves all the way through all these rock outcroppings and islands, and come back into this channel here and anchor into this area. So a little fun fact, there is this is, I think, the original island that the Evinrude family used to, or actually owned. I don't know if they still own it or they did own it, but rumor has it that back in the day they used to literally bring a 100 foot or 100 something foot yacht back here, dock it on this small little island, and plug in the island into the gensets on the ship to give power. So anyways, would like to, one of the points is there's a small hiking trail here that you can go up and hike into Topaz Lake, which we'd like to do. So anyhow, we'll see how it goes. From there, we will come around. We'll come out of here, and then wrap back around, come through this channel here, and come up to Killarney. So right now, of all the places, we do have reservations at the Killarney Mountain Lodge, which is right here. So that's pretty much the only reservation that we have. Everything else we're kind of just calling the day or day before. One of the things we noticed last year on our trip in the Southern Georgian Bay, we had everything called ahead, all the marinas booked and everything else, but after the first day, everything basically because of weather changes and what have you, it just created more stress than needed. So now we're just kind of going along with it. However, Mountain Lodge is a pretty good big destination, so we kind of wanted to make sure. I think we have a reservation for like 5 days. So from there, we still haven't decided 100%, but from Killarney, we might come back over to Tobermory. This is one of the places that we stayed last year. And then from Tobermory, come back down. We may stop in. I have some family over in Kincardine. Would like to stop in there. Last year, we stopped in Godridge. It was a cute little town. But anyway, so we'll go for there. And then at that point, we're just backtracking all the way back down to what you have. So it's roughly, I think, a 1,100 mile trip. One of the big things that we're doing this season, this is our first time, obviously, in what's considered the North Channel, basically. from Killarney all the way to Detour Village. So this area here we've never been. I would love to do a lot more fishing in here. However, this trip there's a lot of places you can do anchorages. Unfortunately, we are not familiar with a lot of the places, so and anchorages are fine. However, in this trip we're really focusing on getting information as to the hot fishing spots. We're talking to the locals. In addition, we're trying to go into these marinas so that if by chance you're up in the Benjamins over here and you see in the forecast that there's high winds or what have you, I can go over to Gore Bay, I can go over to Little Current, I can go into these marinas, so we're just trying to get familiar. Possibly next season, if we decide to come back up into the North Channel, we kind of have it mapped out, and we'll probably focus on doing some more fishing, especially into the Spanish River area. Depending on the time we go, it's a really good spot for walleye. Over here in these channels here, real good salmon. So anyway, don't know if we're gonna get to that this trip, but anyway guys, I'm gonna cut this short right now. Just wanted to give you a quick view of what we're using and how we're doing it, and how to use dock-to-dock navigation on Navionics and Simrad. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and just finish up our coffees this morning and get ourselves ready to boat, and we'll get going here shortly. We should be able to get some pretty good video today, especially when we start getting into the North Channel and some of the rock formations and the different islands and what have you. It's pretty neat looking, especially if you've never seen it. So all right guys, I'll see you later today. Alright guys, so we made it. We got up to Drummond Island. It's Drummond Island Yacht Haven, I think it is. So, as you can see in the background, got in here, got some fuel, and got a slip. So now I'm gonna go over and meet up with our friends Ken and Paula on their Riviera. Probably do happy hour, so I'll pick up the video over there. But yes, we did make it. It was a great cruise. It was 1 foot or less all the way across the strait there, straight into the entrance of the North Channel. So awesome guys. So I'm gonna grab a couple beers and then we're gonna head over to Ken and Paul's boat. My hands are full. So there's Ken and Paula's boat. Yes, that's my phone. Paula, Ken, say hi.
Hi.
Hello. What do you want to say? I think you want to say something.
I think I want to say your camera is too low and I don't like the thing.
Here, is that better?
I need to be on the other side of you when we walk.
No,
This is my good side.
What?
This is my good side.
That's your good side. Sit down. All right, guys. So for real, we're going to Penn's Bar and Grill. All right, guys. So quickly, just wrapping up day number three. So just to recap, went from Harrisville up to where the heck are we? Drummond Island. It was a good cruise. Weather was great. We had a great time. We went over to Ken and Paula's for happy hour. We actually had a lender vehicle, rental car, Suburban. Went over to the restaurant, Penn's. Had dinner. What do we have? I know I didn't film it. Oh my gosh, we had so much food. I'm like disgustingly full right now. But
and then we went to get ice cream.
Oh yeah, then we had ice cream. So we had. I had a brownie blizzard, and Melissa had
peanut butter cup.
A peanut butter cup blizzard. So anyhow, just came back to the boat, sent up the drone, get some twilight drone shots. I think they turned out pretty cool. I'll include them in the video, or if I haven't already. Other than that, so plan tomorrow. We're going to kind of buddy boat from Drummond Island over to Gore Bay. So we're probably going to leave here 8, 9-ish, somewhere in there, and head on over there. So the rest of the week, we had a plan. Don't know how it's going to all pan out based on the weather. I don't know. We're going to take it day by day at this point. We might go from Gore Bay to Benjamin's, or we might end up going to Little Current. I have no idea. We're just going to play it by ear, watch the weather, and see where it takes us. All right, guys. That's the end of day number 3. We're pooped. I'm full, but I'm pooped. I need to go to bed. Molly, you have anything else to say? Molly had ice cream tonight. All right, guys. Good night. See you tomorrow.